The worst part wasn't when my husband found out I cheated, it was what he didn't do afterward. He didn't shout, didn't slam doors, didn't threaten to leave. He just looked at me, nodded once, and said quietly, "I hear you." That was it. No tears. No rage. That silence followed me through the house like a shadow, heavier than any scream. I remember thinking, this is temporary. He just needs time. But days passed, then weeks, and something fundamental disappeared between us. He still lived beside me, but he never touched me again. Before everything broke, we were the kind of couple people trusted. Married 8 years, no kids yet, shared calendars synced on our phones. He brewed coffee every morning at 6:30, always left a note on the counter when he traveled for work. I worked late at a marketing firm downtown, often complaining about deadlines. We weren't perfect, but we laughed easily. He'd squeeze my hand in grocery lines and whisper, "Still you and me." I believed that. I believed routine meant safety, not stagnation. Looking back, I see how comfortable silence became before it ever turned cruel. The cheating didn't start with intention. It started with loneliness I didn't name. A coworker noticed when I stayed late, asked, "You okay working this much?" We talked, joked, vented. I told myself it was harmless. When I came home later than usual, my husband asked, "Long day?" I said yes, kissed his cheek, and went straight to the shower. That was the first lie. I remember my phone buzzing during dinner once, and him glancing over. "Work stuff?" he asked. I nodded too quickly. The guilt sat there, quiet but growing. What I didn't understand then was the cost of small betrayals. I thought if I ended it quickly, confessed honestly, we could survive. I pictured tears, arguments, therapy, something active. I even rehearsed the conversation during my commute, palms sweating on the steering wheel. When I finally told him, sitting at our kitchen table, I said, "I made a mistake. I'm so sorry." My voice shook. He listened without interrupting, hands folded. After a long pause, he replied, "Thank you for telling me." That calm terrified me more than anger ever could. The days after felt deceptively normal. He still asked, "Did you eat?" Still paid the bills on time. But he stopped sitting next to me on the couch. At night, he turned away, leaving a careful inch between us. Once I reached for his arm, whispering, "Can we talk?" He gently moved my hand aside and said, "Not right now." His tone wasn't cold, just empty. I started noticing patterns. Separate laundry loads, separate grocery items, separate lives. The absence of touch became louder than any accusation, and I couldn't escape it. I tried to fix it the only way I knew, talking. "I'm here. I want us," I said one evening. He nodded, eyes on his plate. "I know," he replied. That was all. No questions about the affair, no demands for details. It felt wrong, like he'd skipped the part where people fight for each other. I checked his phone once, shamefully, expecting anger texts to friends or a lawyer's number. Nothing. Just work emails and a reminder. Gym, 7 a.m. The normalcy made me feel invisible, like my confession hadn't landed at all. Weeks turned into months, and the silence hardened. I started counting days without touch. 30, 40, 60. I missed the smallest things. His hand on my back in crowds, the absent-minded kiss while passing in the hallway. I broke down one night and said, "Please, just yell at me." He looked up, surprised. "Why would I do that?" he asked softly. "Because this hurts," I said. He sighed, rubbed his temples and answered, "I'm not punishing you. I'm protecting myself." That sentence echoed in my head long after he went to bed. I suggested therapy. "I booked an appointment," I said, showing him the confirmation email. He read it carefully. "You can go," he replied. "I'm not ready." The distance became deliberate. He woke earlier, came home later. We shared space but not lives. Friends noticed. "Everything okay?" they asked. I lied again, saying work stress. Inside, I unraveled. I'd confess, apologize,